Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome and thank you for tuning into a Women's Touch podcast, putting yours, minds, and everyone else's touch on Women Matters. Remember, we are a no-filter zone here. I'm your host, Adeze Onejime, the editorial and marketing person for Intuition Magazine. We aim to relate, teach, and educate, enlighten, counsel, publicize, promote, and empower women. We are a magazine, so check us out at intuition.com. Intuition is an all-women's magazine. Think of the magazine as something informational mixed with some glam. We are a seasonal magazine and we have seasonal issues and an online merchandise store, so check us out. Get ready for the magazine and take a look at this topic in our newest summer issue. Follow all of our socials at Intuition Magazine for video podcast highlights, at TikTok at Intuition Magazine. For the full exclusive audio and video podcast, check YouTube and Spotify at Intuition Magazine. Want to participate in our video or audio podcast? Check our Discord link in YouTube description and About section on Spotify. And check the Discord for scheduled events. So for today's topic, it's a little bit juicy and probably one of my favorite topics. I actually did an article on it in our summer magazine. You can check that out. And the topic today is dating or relationships. So that could be with friends, family. We're getting into polyamorous dating. We have this term called gaslighting, so we're going to talk about that. Toxicity, Zodiac Signs. We're going to talk about interracial dating, just dating in the LGBT community as well. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff relating to relationships with friends, family, siblings, and so on and so forth, and kind of how that navigates in terms of being a woman and so on. But before I talk about the topics, we do have a special guest. She's a really good childhood friend of mine, and I'm just have her introduce herself and she's going to tell us why this topic is important to her. So go ahead.
Hi, my name is Autumn, and I think the topic of relationships is important in general because it can really change the quality of your life. Who you have around you can influence you. So having healthy relationships is definitely important.
Definitely. Okay. That was well said. So I'm going to do like a check-in. So how are you? Any highlights this week or anything you want to share with the people listening about what you do?
This week has been pretty good for me. I think I've been spending more time with family and checking in on my friends as well. I've been trying to, I guess, practice more self-love and like find out ways that I can have less stress or anxiousness in my daily life. So that's what has been kind of like my focus, my mental state lately.
Okay.
How about you?
Me, I'm honestly the same. I think learning to check in with friends and just being more like not so in a bubble, but trying to make sure that everybody else is good. Because sometimes I get caught up in like myself and like doing my work that like I forget that like, oh, like I need to see like how this person is doing because I don't want to lose a connection. So just doing work and school and juggling everything, and yes, just being with family in general because like the 4th of July weekend passed, so it's just good to kind of share moments with family and like relationships, like how we're going to talk about, like just maintaining those healthy relationships and being able to do things together will help me like keep myself grounded and like motivate me to push through like hard times. So yeah, I think I'm the same way. So okay, so let's get into some so we're gonna call this is like the popular opinion segment. So For this unpopular opinion segment, we're going to be looking at an Instagram page, a very known Instagram page. Their name is Justin LaBoy. He posts very like controversial or maybe sometimes like harsh like meme. Huh? Oh yeah, they post. He posts
No,
like
I'm just thinking about his post in my head.
yeah, like they're like very like over the top notch, like, and he's a guy, so he's gonna say like say things a certain way. So I thought his page would be a really good example of like kind of our topic and kind of us reacting to what he has to say and kind of debating on like okay what's right and what's wrong with what he's saying. So we're not experts in like any of like relationships or anything, but I think it'd be funny from our perspective, like what his quotes really mean to us and kind of like breaking it down. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's way too hot outside to be trusting somebody. Okay. So what does this mean?
Um, I guess it's like the concept of people, like when it's hot outside, they are more likely to be single, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So mm, it's way too hot outside to be trying to go on. So like you're saying once it's summertime, like people are more likely to like have like be casual or like just want to have fun.
Yeah, and um I think this generation definitely people just lack trust in one another, and a lot of people um play games. I think that's what it's talking about.
Do you feel like it's because it's like a seasonal thing, or you think it's all year round? Like people like
I think
behave
it's
this way.
all year round, but definitely more in the summertime for sure.
Mm-hmm. I feel like because there's a lot more activities to do in the summer, and a lot of people are taking more vacations. So
Everybody's
mm-hmm.
outside.
People are doing like Miami trips and things like that. So girls are like yes, or like guys are like yeah, I'm about to talk to this female, this female. So it's very tempting to go out and mingle with people and like get caught up in that. It says he isn't consistent because he don't want you. He has a girlfriend and you don't know about it.
Um, I think this is true.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah, if somebody's not consistent with you, oh, go ahead, go
no, I
ahead.
was gonna say because consistency is like big for me. Like that's like a sign that even like outside of dating, like friends too. Like if you're not like I don't know, like one day you're on it, and the next day you're kind of like I don't really know what's going on. Like I feel like there's like a gap there, and I feel like I don't know, it feels empty. Like I need people to rely on, and like if I don't have people who are reliable, and like maybe one day they're like I can communicate to them, and the next day it's like oh what happened? It makes me really worrisome. So I don't know, dating guys in general, like they need to always be like checking in on me, like words of affirmation daily, just things like that. Just being on top of it.
I agree. In platonic relationships and romantic relationships, um, I don't have a lot of experience with men, but um, I can say just in general, if somebody really values you and likes you, you're not gonna have to wonder or ask or worry about like the communication or effort. So I definitely think if that's not the case, then they're either preoccupied or they don't know what they
Mm-hmm.
want.
Yeah, because I feel like people who lack consistency, it's like an excuse for them to be like, oh, well, like we're not really dating, so I don't really have to care as much. Like, I don't know. People who are not consistent are just like players. So there's no point of like continuing.
Yeah, and they tell on themselves, really.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pretty relevant.
Yes, I think the friend stage is so important when it comes to romantic partnerships or relationships because that person is somebody you're going to be making decisions with and communicating with. And if you don't have the basic dynamic of friendship, there's a lot you're going to be missing out on. You may miss like foundational things that are important, like respect or communication, and just being able to talk to someone and be comfortable around them and have somebody that you can joke around with. I think it's important.
Do you think you can be like flirty in the friend stage, or does it have to be fully platonic?
Um, Usually, if I have someone in mind that I am attracted to, then the friend stage is um, it's communicated that or known that there's like a mutual interest. With my platonic friends, there's no like gray area. But I think like if I'm dating someone, then I like to get to know them first, as as friends as much as I can before getting into a relationship with them.
Hmm. So like what is a dating timeline look like for you? Like so you talk there's a talking stage, dating, like what's the stages of like dating? Do you think you could explain that to people?
Um, it depends on the person. I would say I would say the dating stage it's dating slash getting to know somebody, and that really depends on the
Hmm.
person and how often you see them or how often you communicate. So I think that should last for me personally as long as it takes for you to be comfortable with someone. Like you know how they react to different situations. You know their values and boundaries, and it's um, that stage is important because it helps you to know if you're compatible before you get into a
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
So it'll be like friends first, getting to know each other.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a blurred area. Friends slash getting to know each other, then like dating, then relationship if that's what you end up doing. For me. How about you?
Yeah, everyone's different with dating stages. That's why I like to ask people because some people are like, well, I think some people think like, oh, mm, like we should only date for 2 months and then we should be cuffed, or like, oh, we should be casual first and then I'll see if I want to date you or not. Like, I don't know, everyone's different, so I definitely believe in being friends first. 'Cause I feel like that's like the best way, and probably like the it's more straightforward, and that like no one's like being fake at first. Like when you're friends, you guys already know each other on a friendship level, so being like dating wouldn't be that much of a difference. But if you could just go straight into like dating the person, you wouldn't even know like who you're talking to. Like kind of like what the post is. Like you'd be dating strangers, you don't even know. So yeah, I just it needs to be clear. That's why communication important because the other party would sometimes not tell you what they want. They might want to be casual, but then you want a relationship. So it's important that both parties know, like, okay, we are working towards a relationship, or we're working towards just being casual, or we're working towards like going with the flow or whatever. So it's very important that the goal and plan is like communicated. I think that's like the key, the takeaway.
True.
Like I've been seeing everywhere on TikTok and stuff. They be like nonchalant guys, da 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 something.
Mm, hmm. What do you
Well,
think?
um, basically the saying that like I don't know, if you're like arguing with a guy, like usually like if you're arguing with someone, you're supposed to be listening to them, arguing with them back, and be like da 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 da, and the other person's like da da da. But a nonchalant guy, if you argue with them, they're just kind of like, okay, like are you done? They're like super like passive, yeah. So I don't know, a lot of people don't like that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think being really nonchalant is it can be really like dismissive and
Mm-hmm.
um I think there's a difference between being nonchalant and um communicating calmly. I don't know. Like if somebody is has to raise their voice at you or um get out of character to communicate something to you, then or vice versa, then I don't think that's a good way to communicate. But also being too nonchalant, um, even if you do care, like some people really do care, but they don't want to show on the outside, which
Mm-hmm.
I think just hurts you in the long run.
Yeah, because I get like arguing and like proving your point because that shows that you care, but sometimes arguing can get disrespectful, so you don't want to get to that point. You can be passionate about what you're saying, but just don't cross certain boundaries and lines. And then on the other side of it, like don't be too nonchalant or don't like not care. Just like show that you care, but I think kind of listening and then kind of defending yourself. I don't know.
Mm.
That's hard. I never been in an argument with the significant other, so I don't really know how I would navigate it. But how have your arguments been, or have you encountered like anything like super emotional?
Um, yeah.
Do you feel comfortable
Some,
sharing it, or if you?
oh yeah, I can share. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes if you're very passionate about something and you're speaking to someone that's very nonchalant, it can sometimes make you more upset. Um, and I've also had the reverse side where I feel like the conversation is getting anywhere, so maybe I might retreat emotionally and like I may come off as nonchalant. But that's kind of been my experience with that.
Mm-hmm. I think this is interesting. I feel like this goes for like interracial families or those type of situations. Do you think you could be in a relationship with someone whose family doesn't like you?
I don't know. I asked myself this question, like I would have to really like the person because um and especially if they are very close with their family, it's not like you can completely avoid them, and it can cause a lot of drama being around them, and then that drama can carry into your relationship, and then you may feel resentful towards your partner if they're not like um supporting you in moments when maybe you're having like a disagreement with somebody, or I don't know, it just seems like a lot of drama that you got to kind of weigh if it's something that you're willing to go through and how much you like the person.
So you're saying that you wouldn't be able to do it, even if they're like your soulmate?
It would depend. It would really depend. And it would also depend on how they treated me as well. How
Yeah,
about you?
I think the same thing. Because I feel like family is important in terms of like support system, like my mother-in-law or like the father-in-law. Like I want them to be able to be there supporting and raising like, you know, like my child. Like, you know, it would be nice to have that family, that perfect family system. And just for them to like just shun us and stuff, like it would just be really broken. And I don't want that like family dynamic. So that's really hard. Like again, like I feel like it depends on like how they treat me personally. I feel like the guys should stand up for me if the family is talking to me a type of way. Like, because if the person I'm talking to doesn't defend me and stuff, and the family's just being insulting, then like I don't think I could do all that. So, hmm yeah, exactly. Okay. If you cheat on me, I'm gonna stay and teach you how to cheat without getting caught. Okay. Okay. How we feel about cheaters?
Oh, no. I think cheating is um I'm not about that. I think it shows your lack of integrity, your lack of ability to communicate. You much rather be shady than just be upfront about how you feel. And it's really going to come
Mm-hmm.
back to manifest somehow in your life later. So it's not really a situation where you're going to win from anything. You're going to destroy your relationship and reap the karma of what you did. So, yeah.
You're like, yeah. Do you feel like people can like accidentally cheat? Like, do you believe in
No,
like
no, you made a decision what you were
what? Wait,
doing.
see, what if like you're in the like, what if you're at a party and like and the girl is like on you or something like, and
People
like
try
you
to
just couldn't control yourself?
people try to blame things on alcohol, but you know what you're doing. You know, like if you really care about somebody, you know your boundaries, you know your limits.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're that easy, you shouldn't be putting yourself in situations anyway where you're gonna fold so quickly.
True.
If you really care about somebody, no, it's not an accident.
Yeah. Right. So do you feel like if you're in a relationship, like, and like, let's say your homegirls want to go out clubbing, do you feel like you would take your significant other to with them to the club, or could you trust yourself to go by yourself?
Um, yeah, I can go by myself.
Okay.
I don't have any problems being loyal or not being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think you said it right. Just loyalty. Yeah. I always thought about that. Like, what if I was in a relationship and like someone told me to go out to clubbing? Because I do like my clubs, you know. So I don't know.
Would you feel like you couldn't?
Um, I think it would be hard. Um,
Why?
I don't know, cause it's like I like being social, and like you know, and like I do like to, you know, drink and have a good time. So it could be tempting, but if anything, I'll probably just knowing that I have somebody, I'll probably just like drink less or do kind of precautions on my own, kind of like maybe just stay with my friends more rather than like start talking to people. So I'll probably try to like navigate in a way that I'll avoid anything that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be hard though. I feel like a lot of temptation
What?
out there. I don't know. Oh, it's so bad. I need to stay single. Gotta stay prepared to never speak to someone again in your life. What, like, how do you end, this is family, friends, or significant other. What are signs that, like, you need to cut somebody off? Like, toxic people off?
Signs you need to cut somebody off. And I see this one a lot, and I think it's true. If you are around this person and just looking at how you feel, how your body feels, how your nervous system feels after you finish interacting with them, that says a lot. Yeah, just like, do you feel good around this person, or do you feel bad? Are you drained, or um, do you feel like the relationship is mutual? Um, is this person respecting your boundaries? Um, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think, um, if you're not building me as a person, if you're not adding on to anything, if I'm always the one going to you a lot, and if it's not mutual, if there's no exchange, like, honestly, it doesn't work, and you're better off just like you going your way and I'm going my way, because we don't complement each other, so there's no point of, you know. And I just looked at this comment. Someone said Scorpio behavior. You you believe in zodiac signs, right? Or not really?
Yes, I I do. Um, I do believe in them. Yeah, I haven't analyzed them as much in my dating life, but personally, and just interacting with people, I definitely think some people um, reflect different tendencies or life characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Okay. Oh, sorry. What was that?
think? Do you?
I do. I think they're pretty accurate. Not They're not all the time, but for the most part, I think they're pretty spot on. I am a counselor. I'm a crybaby. I think you're Aries. Yeah, and I think Aries are like, I forgot. They were like, oh, they're like all over the place. They want to do everything.
Uh,
They're like they're like, they're hard workers, but it's just like they want to do so much and tackle so much. Like they want to be like this, like, they want to be like the best in their field, but it's like they have a lot of interests. I don't know.
see that.
Mhm.
I do. I do have a lot of interests.
Mhm. Okay, so, what do you think the moral of the story of this podcast was? If you can wrap everything up.
Um, I would say being comfortable on your own, learning yourself so you can know what it is you want out of your relationships, what you're willing to tolerate, what you want to manifest in your daily life and interactions, and being okay to leave situations that no longer serve you or the person you're in contact with. Yeah.
Do you, do you have any mental health tips for our viewers?
Um, mental health tips. Um, not to be cliche, but I really feel like nature has a lot of healing, and also it's easy to want to do things on your own, but I think allowing others to support you where they can, letting others help you
Mm-hmm.
is also just as healthy.
Mm. Okay. And then where can our viewers find you?
You can find me on Instagram at underscore not underscore, at the letter O, the number 2, UMN. Otun.
Okay. And then you can follow me at de.zay. All right. Thank you, Oz, and our Discord and our website. This has been from Intuition Magazine, and this is a Woman's Touch podcast. Bye, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.